Mrs. Lucille Francoise Modeste, better known as Mom of 36 Delos Street, Soufrière, passed away at her residence on Wednesday, May 1st, 2013 at approximately 5:30 a.m. She was 87 years. She was predeceased by her husband, Mr. Joseph Michael Philip Modeste of Delos Street, Soufrière. Left to mourn her children, Lucina Victor of Monrepo, Justice of the Peace for St. Lucia; Corporal Gregory Modeste, formerly of the Royal Air Force, UK; Trevor Modeste, Martin Modeste, Maria Forber, Leslie Modeste, all of the UK. Her grandchildren, Nicola Modeste, Kelly Stacy, Michelle Modeste, Leanne Forber, Carl George, J. Modeste, Nadine Modeste, Lely Modeste, Daniel Modeste, Michael Modeste, Natasha Sinclair, Wesley Modeste, Samuel Modeste, all of the UK. 23 great-grandchildren, all of the UK. 2 great-great-grandchildren, all of the UK. Many nieces and nephews, both in St. Lucia, the UK and the USA, too numerous to mention. Also left to mourn families: the Prosper family of Soufrière, the Gaston family of Soufrière and the UK, the Pascal family of the UK, St. Lucia and the USA, the Marshall family of Castries, Soufrière and Jamaica, the Charlemagne family of the UK and Soufrière, the Cadet family of Bexar and the USA, Morella Mesmin and family of Soufrière and the UK, the Jean-Baptiste family of Forcé-Jacques, Soufrière, Cyril Marcelin and family of Forcé-Jacques, the Jean-Philippe family of Soufrière, the La Corbinière family of St. Lucia, the Atkins family of the UK, Janique of Palmis, Soufrière, the Henry family of Church Street, the Alcindor family of Soufrière, the Jeux family of Etangs, the Maffrey family of Forcé-Jacques. Friends: Mrs. Christine Patton of Soufrière, Mr. and Mrs. Gregory Muriel and family of Soufrière and the UK, Mr. Morris Clovis and family of Soufrière and the UK, Mrs. Bea Williams of the UK, Mrs. Lena Dennis of the UK, Mr. Henry Wilson and family of the UK, the Edgar family of the UK and St. Lucia, Mr. Nathaniel and family of the UK, Mr. Hudson and family of the UK, Mrs. Doreen Joliffe of Soufrière, Mrs. Marina Quinlan and family of Soufrière and the UK, Esther Jean-Baptiste and family of Soufrière, Mrs. Esther Hippolyte and family of Crestland, Mrs. Michelle Anthony Daisy, employee of Duboulay, Anthony and Company, Mr. and Mrs. Peter and family of Soufrière, Pius and Sandra Faustin of Soufrière, Mrs. Hermina St. Hill of Soufrière, Mrs. Lister Carrasco Bonaparte of Soufrière, Mr. Dane Brown of Diamond Road, Soufrière, Mr. Garan Purpey of New Development, Soufrière, Miss Janice James of Soufrière, her carer, Mrs. Morena Leos of Morgouge, Choiseul. Neighbors: Mr. Igor, Miss Catherine, Miss Kelder, Miss Marcella and family, Maita and family, Sharon Marshall, Abigail Marshall, Mrs. Alexander and family, Mrs. McDoom and family, all residents of Delos Street and all those who knew Mum. The funeral service of the late Mrs. Lucille Francoise Modeste, better known as Mom, will be held at Our Lady of the Assumption Catholic Church, Soufrière, on Wednesday, May 22nd, 2013 at 2 p.m. Then the body will be laid to rest at the Latuni Cemetery. The body now lies at the Rambali's Funeral Parlor, Latuni, Beaufort. Special note: the family would like to inform all well-wishers that they would like to mourn in private after the funeral service.